In this video, I walk you through basic steps in ICD-10 PCS coding. Our examples will mainly focus on the medical surgical section. The other sections follow the same basic steps. Step number 1 is to identify the reason why the procedure is being performed. You could do that through identifying the root operation or the common procedure name, such as, for example, angioplasty. So you find the term in index, you build 3 to 4 characters of your procedure. In a few instances, you might find complete 70 characters. From there, you move to your tables. So this is different from ICD-9 CM because you go to the tabular list, but in this case we go to the tables where you have a combination of values which you have to build based on your documentation and come up with your code. In everything you do, make sure that you refer to the ICD-10 PCS coding guidelines for correct coding, such as in case of multiple coding or other rules that you need to abide by, because in the tables you will not get any instruction notes. The only instruction notes you may get is the cross-reference instructions in alphabetic index, but the tables do not have instructions. So you need to make sure that you pick the right codes based on the guidelines. So again, even though PCS is replacing volume 3 of ICD-9, they almost have nothing in common. So we have alphabetic index and tables. So let's go ahead and log in to 3M and we can do a few examples. So you should have a screen that looks like this. Again, we go through the ICD-10 CM PCS integrated codebook, and so you have to look through your tabs and go to the procedure tab, and we're gonna go ahead and proceed with the first procedure, which is laparoscopic excision of right ovarian cyst. So once you determine your root operation or the objective of the procedure, which is excision, we're gonna go ahead and type in our index, the excision, and it's excision of right ovarian cyst. So the next term we're looking for is the site ovary, and the example is saying that right ovary. So we go to right and click here. Now we're gonna build the digits. So the system has auto-filled some of the values that we need, so we just need to pick the approach, which is the 4th value here. The procedure was done laparoscopically, so we're going to choose percutaneous endoscopic, and so in this case, because it was excision of ovarian cyst, the procedure was therapeutic, not diagnostic, so we choose no qualifier. Instead of diagnostic, we're going to choose no qualifier, and our code should be 0UB04ZZ as we show here as the right answer for that. For the next case, was a below knee amputation of a right leg, so we're going to go back to our index, and then I guess the first thing we need to do is identify the root operation for these procedures, which is amputation. So we go ahead and type in amputation into our index. We get a cross-reference instruction that said to see detachment, so we're going to have to go to detachment. And that was a below knee. So below knee is not really the knee area, so it's actually the lower leg area. So we're gonna go to leg, and that was the lower, and the procedure happened to be on the right leg. So leg, lower leg, on the right. And we're going to choose this procedure, and the amputation happened below knee. So in that case, we have a complete procedure, which, as we show in our answer key, it's 0Y6H0Z3. Remember that in ICD-10-PCS we do not use O or I because they can be confused for 0 or 1. Okay, let's move on to the third example. So here the procedure is about open revision of the right knee replacement with removal of and exchange of the polyethylene patella component. So the first thing we need to decide every single time that you're reading through a procedure note is the objective of the procedure. What is being done? In this case, they're trying to revise a device. So if you see this, it's remove and exchange of polyethylene patella component. Now any procedure being done on the knee itself, just on a device. So we're gonna go ahead, go to our index and type in revision as our root operation, and that was division of device, and device is for the right knee. So we look for the device in a joint. So joint which happens to be knee, and that was the right knee. So our first four characters should be OS 0SWC, and then we need to worry about the fourth value, which is the approach and the procedure here based on the case we're doing. It was done open, and so the polyethylene patella component is synthetic substitute. So we pick our device as J, and the qualifier is only one value, Z. So our final code is 0SWC0JZ, as our answer key is showing. For the last case, again, we need to determine what's a root operation for this procedure, and this is where maybe your anatomy and physiology would come in. The procedure was done arthroscopically on the left subtala. So, and that was arthrodesis. Arthrodesis is in 3M PCS language is fusion. So fusion will be our root operation, and that was done about the ankle or foot area. So because as you go through the index, as we're gonna see here, we're gonna type in fusion. So if you go put subtile, there's no entry for that. The closest joint to the procedure that was done was torso joint, and that was done on the left leg. So left, it's 0SGJ, and our approach for the procedure was arthroscopic. So we choose 4 for percutaneous endoscopic, and there was internal device because they did arthrodesis with internal device based on the case we're doing. So we choose internal device, and our qualifier is Z. So our final code, as much matches with our answer key, is 0SGJ44Z. Go ahead and practice more examples in the book, and let me know if you have any questions.